All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Talia, and I would like to welcome you all to today's Benilde Film Talks entitled What Lies Ahead, The Promise of a Film Graduate, where we invited three Benilde Film alumni to share with us their experiences of being exposed to the industry and the real world and how they are now in their respective careers. So, to moderate today's talk, we also have with us the chairperson of the Digital Filmmaking Program, our very special Direk Joey Reyes. The floor is now yours, Direk.
Hello, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Mag-full screen na nga, mag-gallery na tayo. Alisin nyo na yung ating plate na yan para magkakitaan na tayong lahat. Good afternoon, everybody. Today we have invited three very special alumni of Benilde Film. They've all been, under the legendary Jaig Garcia and myself, okay, through the years, no? And I guess I invited them because they are three of the most successful of our alumni at maganda siguro i-share nila sa inyo kung ano yung inyong hinaharap na kinabukasan. Okay? We all have a real ideal vision of what will lie ahead right after graduation. But there is such a thing as a reality check. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have some real talk. We're going to have some real talk in which they will hopefully, honestly, brutally share what they really went through right after graduation and how they got to where they are right now. I guess what is important for all of us, o mga children, buksan nyo nga mga camera ninyo. Hindi ako sanay makipag-usap sa mga itim na kahon. Okay? Buksan nyo mga camera ninyo. Okay? Okay, pag hindi nyo binuksan yan, absent kayo. Okay? Okay, the whole point here is in order for us to know what would be needed, kung ano yung mga skills na kailangan ninyong i-develop habang nasa eskwela pa kayo. Ilan sa inyo gusto maging cinematographer? Ilan sa inyo, lahat kayo gusto maging director? Okay? Ilan sa inyo gustong maging editor? Pero they're gonna tell you, what it really means to be in the highly competitive post-pandemic world. Kung gaano ang pressure na maibibigay sa inyo at kung ano ang kailangang skills na i-focus ninyo. All right. So, without much further ado, let me introduce our three outstanding alumni. Okay. Let me start first with the most recent of the three graduates. He was one of the best students we had, okay, in Benilde. Nakatingin yung tatlo na wondering kung sino sa kanila. Okay. He was one of the best of our students, okay, during his undergraduate days. And immediately after nagtapos siya ng kanyang college, nagpunta siya sa Amerika to take his master's in cinematography. Right now, when he came back, he is now teaching with us cinematography, and at the same time, he is a house director for one of the production houses in Manila. Okay, let me introduce Jaig de Guzman. Baka maging teacher niyo yan, si Jaig. Jaig, hi!
Okay. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Hi.
Okay. Oh, okay, masaya si Nicolo. Okay? Then, okay, hindi ko akalain na siya ay magiging matagumpay na direktor. Sa totoo lang, okay? Nung nasa eskwela yan, kadalasan ng mga project, artista siya. Okay? Artista siya. Buyoyong yan yung nasa eskwela kami. Okay? Nung estudyante. Pero one thing about this gentleman is that he is one of the most hardworking students we've ever come across. So maybe I should not be surprised that he is now one of the most in-demand daw, na commercial directors we have in the country today. Ang dami-daming commercials na napapanood nyo na siya ang may gawa. At higit sa lahat, he is already in this level of popularity at a very tender age. Ilang taong ka na nga, kuya?
26, Direk.
26 years old, okay? At the age of 26, okay, hindi siya magkanda-ugaga. Ang ganda niyan, Johann, hindi siya magkanda-ugaga sa dami ng trabaho na ginagawa niya. Kids, I'd like to introduce to you Johann, Direk Johann Alcantara. Okay? Mag-hi ka naman. Okay?
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello.
Okay. Nako, legend itong babaeng introduce ko sa inyo. Alam niyo ba itong babaeng ito, nung thesis season, lahat, uulitin ko, lahat ng mga thesis film, nag-PA siya at nag-staff siya. Sa katunayan, I think alam ko, 20 yatang nag-defend doon, 18 ang kanyang tinulungan para gumawa ng film. In other words, ipinanganak ito na makatiang talampakan. Hindi siya mapalagay, lahat ng production sinalihan niya. Okay? Nakakatuwa niyan dahil tinulungan niya lahat. Ang nag-suffer yung thesis niya. Okay? Dahil yun ang hindi niya napag-ukulan ng panahon. Pero all her hard work has paid off. She's now considered one of the most promising, if not prominent, creative producers in our country today. And she is still climbing, okay, that corporate ladder up there in the world of advertising. Kids, let me introduce Dane Hinkel. Hello, Ate Dayn, okay? All right. Okay, so
Hello.
ito yung tatlo nating outstanding alumni at bubusisiin natin ang kanilang buhay at kung ano ang kanilang mga pinagdaanan bago nila marating kung ano man ang narating nila ngayon. Okay? Mamaya maganda magtanong kayo. Maganda kung magtanong kayo. Dahil I'm sure ang dami yung tanong, pucha, ano ang gagawin ko pagka-graduate ko? Di ba? Ano ba ang haharapin ko pagka-graduate ko? Ano ba ang kailangan ko para makatrabaho ako at para gumaling ako? So iisa-isihin natin sila. Okay, umpisahan ko kay Jaig. Jaig, right after you
Yes.
graduated, you decided to take your master's in cinematography. Why?
Well, yung pinakaunang like struggle for me was getting into the industry, like in general, kasi I didn't know what I really wanted when I graduated the film school. So parang sinabi ko sa sarili ko, my strength is in cinematography and directing. So why not take my master's and take a leap from there? Parang, you know, my step up yun in a way na I'm able to like differentiate myself, na I'm able to take my master's and learn more about the process of filmmaking and everything about it, basically. So, and the exposure to like different cultures, because like you're in America and medyo melting pot ngayon yung America, and you're exposed to different, you know, Hispanics, whites, blacks, it's everything. So medyo that was the experience for me. Na parang I wanted to expose myself to different cultures, to filmmaking in general. Tapos yung parang expose yourself more to like the artistic nature of everything. That's how I felt, at least. Na parang I needed to grow more as a filmmaker and as a, you know, as a student, definitely. So yeah, that really helped me find my path talaga in a way. So yun.
So if I'm not mistaken, when you were in the United States and you were taking your master's, a short film of yours went to various festivals. Is that not right?
Yep. So para siyang ano, yung short film ko, I literally made it on a whim, and it's kasi pandemic medyo mahirap gumawa ng film that time. And we were like skirting all the rules. Unfortunately, we didn't get tested. Everyone didn't, you know.
Sige, encourage mo sila. O,
No,
sige,
no, I'm not encouraging that
sige.
behavior at all. Pero ganun na nga nangyari. We rented an Airbnb, we didn't ask permission. We just shot. We were just, all the rules were broken. And I don't advocate for that. Pero kasi walang budget, walang anything. So we just did it. And, you know, it kind of worked out for us. Pero I'm not saying you should do that. Pero ganun na nga nangyari.
All right. Jake, may tanong ako. What is your takeaway from your experience in Benilde Film? What is one thing that you learned in Benilde Film na sa tingin mo became very important when you finally took your master's in a totally different culture in the United States?
Na notice ko kay Benilde actually is we are very technologically there. Honestly, technically nandun tayo. Kasi nung pumunta ako sa Amerika, it's the same thing. They're doing the same thing. Halos better lang ng konti, pero tayo, we're already there. Definitely. We're like on the cusp of being like, you know, there, Hollywood level, ganon, cinema level in a way. So, yun, that's my big takeaway from Benilde, na parang kahit, you know, we're like a humble like little college, pero we have all of the little like equipment and technological know-how to like get stuff done, at least, you know. For me, that's my opinion.
Okay, ito naman ang tanong ko pa sa iyo. Okay, when you went there, what was your takeaway from your experience in the United States studying your masters?
Okay, so
ano na-realize mo?
Yun ako nagkulang. Doon ako nagkulang sa like culture and art wise. Kasi I feel like wala pa tayong, let's say, compare natin sa isang school, okay, UP. ang galing nila sa culture. They have so much culture, they have so much art, they have so much like rich history. Parang they can take all of that, and parang yung mga students nila, they have so much theory and so much of that artistry. Parang yun yung kulang lang natin as a for me. Kasi nung pumunta ako doon, wow, daming mga know it all, whoa, know how, like these guys like studied all of the freaking art theory BS, and it's like ganun ako. I was like, oh my god, I have to catch up. Kasi I'm more of a technical guy nga. Then that's where I really added more sa mga sa art in general. Yun nga talaga. Yeah.
Yeah, pero alam mo, Jaig, that's good that you pointed that out kasi right now we are, hindi ba Alec, Sir Alec Berame is here, who is our intern coordinator, our OJT coordinator, and he's also a full-timer, and he is also part of the curriculum, naggumawa ng curriculum review. I do recognize that, Jaig, na kulang tayo sa theoretical foundation. Okay, kulang tayo sa theoretical foundation kasi dedicated tayo sa technical skills. We're basically a technical school. Pagdating sa camera, sa cinematography, walang tatalo sa Benilde. Pagdating sa editing, walang tatalo sa atin. Alam mo tayo talo sa content. Okay? Talo tayo sa content. Hindi ba? Ang ninipis ng kwento natin kasi wala tayong aesthetic foundation. Wala tayong mga yun, we hope to improve. Okay? We have to improve in the near future. Okay, thank you. Babalikan kita, Jaig. Ngayon susunod ko. Kuya Direk, okay? Nung kakagraduate mo lang, ano ang naging basic problema mo in order to get into the industry? Ano unang karanasan mo pagkatapos mo natanggap ang iyong diploma? At pinawagay mo, oy, graduate ako ng Benilde. Shit. Okay, kwento mo nga.
All right. So first thing that I encountered after graduating in Benilde is number one, existential crisis, no? Kasi now you're done. You don't have any units left, no? Na problemahin. Wala ka ng thesis na kailangan balikan and everything. So it's more of like, what do I do now? I know I've always wanted to be a director. I know that there are people here na parang medyo pa sila, I want to be a cinematographer, I want to be a director, which it's fine na parang you don't have to choose one path only. If you could be great at everything, then please do. But to be honest, after graduation, what I did is to chat Direk Joey and ask about my life on what to do. But basically, kasi parang for me, I had this call. I feel like I had this calling for advertising. No? So if you don't know, I work in advertising, and not much people want to be in advertising, since in a film school they don't train you to be the next commercial director, they don't train you to be the next food director, they train you to be the next can, parang ganun yun, nandun sa route yung culture natin, no? So my number one problem is how will I be able to penetrate, since as we all know, advertising is like, technically it's a corporate thing na marami siyang ladders, marami siyang ins and outs, but at the same time, very secluded siya, very exclusive siya for certain people. Like if you want to be a director, you'll be rubbing hands with 40-year-old directors, 30-year-old directors, and look at this guy, a 21-year-old graduate who's trying to make his name for himself. Diba?
So yun ang mahirap to penetrate the industry. How did you penetrate the industry?
All right. So
I
yeah,
don't assume that you had to fuck somebody to get a job, right? So
I was close to doing that, to be honest.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That was the first thing.
How Benildean of you. Oh, anyway,
Wow.
go ahead.
Right. I came from that, might as well use it. But anyway, since yun nga, after college, if you want to be a director, you can't be a director in an advertising company. Para ka nag-apply to be a president. Kunwari, para ka nag-apply sa film department, ano pong gusto niyo mangyari? Gusto ko pa maging Direk Joey. Ako po yung gusto, no, you can't be the chairperson right there and then. So I went through freelancing first, but not at the directing side. Nag-graphic design ako and stuff. Like I do make logos and everything.
So Johann, ang unang job mo, graphic designer
yes,
ka?
Yes. Okay. I do logos for what? 5,000 pesos. That's
okay.
that pays the grocery. No?
Okay.
So with that, and then on the side, I do acting then. So I go VTRs to VTRs. And then I went to this production house in Makati and they have a full office. And then I told myself na kung gusto kong mag-in-house, I wanted to work with this with this production company. So I asked the HR na nandun na rin naman since nakaupo lang rin naman ako. Hi, would you happen to have any job openings at the moment? So wala daw for that moment. So as I left my card and then my reel. Alam mo yung reel naman natin sa college, di ba? Parang puro digital lang naman nakalagay dun sa reel na yun eh. Magkaroon ka ng wipes art na yun. Magkaroon ka ng parang light leaks dito. Shit, pare, I'm a filmmaker. Yun na yung reel natin. So I left my reel and then a week after they called me up and then they were telling me that they're putting up a new group. So basically, yung magiging designation ko is a video designer. So I think this is very critical for the longevity of this talk, no? So yung video designer, hindi ka lang director. Kailangan mong magsulat, idea-wise. You have to pitch it with a client. You have to shoot it. You have to edit it. You have to color grade it. You have to export it. So end-to-end siya. So I think that what Benilde Film equipped me with, you know, being able to go from one aspect of production to another. Hindi nga lang production eh, from pre to prod to post. So kailangan cover natin siya if you want to be great at one point. Na even I have cinematographer friends na they're learning editing, they're learning directing since it's valuable to the work that they do.
So ano yun, Johann, ang sinasabi mo, no, nowadays it's not enough to be good at just one aspect. Kids, please listen to this kasi napakahalaga nito. We have reached the point na pagka-graduate ninyo, hindi lamang one field of expertise ang hihingin sa inyo. Kuminsan, ang hihingin sa inyo is, magbigay ka ng concept and you shoot it and then show it to me. So you should know how to conceptualize, you should know how to write, you should know how to direct, you should know how to edit, and now you should know all the post-prod, which hopefully Benilde equips you with. Okay? Dapat you are a master of all trades. You have to be a master of all trades with eventually one field of specialization. Pero to get into the field, kailangan alam nyo lahat, hindi lamang isa. Okay? So sabi nyo po, pwede ba yun? Yun na ang demands ngayon. Mamaya, when we discuss the post-pandemic scenario of which papasukan ninyo, mas kayo maaligaga kung ano ang expectation sa generation ninyo dahil mas mahirap. Mas mahirap ang wonderful world of digital media. Okay? Tanungin naman natin ang ating ang tanging rosa sa ating mga matinik na landas. Dayn, kwento mo nga, ano nangyari sa iyo pagkatapos ng graduation mo at paano ka napasok sa industriya?
Ay, grabe. Sobrang lala nung naging adventure ko. Sobrang nakakatawa. But after graduation, hindi pa ako muna naghanap ng work, like actively. Kasi sabi ko sa sarili ko, ang ano ko talaga guys, before I graduated, ang talagang specialize on ko ay production management and script writing. So sabi ko, after graduating, gusto kong mag-focus sa script writing. So I went under mentorship kay Bing Lau. Tapos, ayun, matanda ko ng found story script writing workshop niya. And then after that, sobrang nagulo yung mundo ko kasi yung what I know of the script writing principles in college, sobrang nabuwag siya nung tinuruan ako ni Bing Lau ng literally an entire different world of screenwriting. And then after that, sabi ko, okay, kailangan ko na magkaroon ng pera, kailangan ko na maghanap ng trabaho. Nagsimula akong freelance, kuha muna ako ng mga short films, kuha nila ako, tapos so parang racket lang siya. And then afterwards, merong agency na kumuha sa akin as lifestyle photographer for Max's group of companies. So sa events ako napunta, kumuha ako ng photos, kumuha ng lifestyle photos for them, pinopost yun sa social media nila, nag-update ako ng captions nila, yung mga ganong stuff. And then after that, medyo tumumal siya for a while kasi parang it's a contractual project talaga. So, naghanap ako ng ibang trabaho ulit and then napunta ako sa ABS-CBN. Sa ABS-CBN, pumasok ako doon as production assistant. Tapos, napunta ako sa TV production under game department. So ang mga hinawakan kong shows
Anong
ay
game shows?
um ah yung main show ko talaga ay The Voice or The Voice Kids. Pero nagsa-side rin ako kasi sa ABS depende parang kung kaninong producer ka napunta, siya yung palagi mo nang susundan. So kung ano yung project niya, yun din yung magiging project mo. So parang talagang tututo ka lang sa kanya kung ano yung iutos nila sa'yo, yung gagawin mo. So yung other shows ko doon, sa tawag ng tanghalan, suma-sideline din ako doon, I Love OPM, basta lahat ng may game, basta under game department yon. Minsan nga, umagang kay ganda. So umaga-umaga nandun ako sa set, ganyan. Kung anong sinabi nila sa akin na gagawin ko. May pinapahanap sila o kaya yung art dep kailangan ng tulong mag-backlash kabit ng mga stuff, gagawin yun. So ayun. And then after that, isang taon, sabi ko, okay, hanap na ako ulit na iba pang trabaho. Doon ako napunta sa advertising. Doon ako pumasok. Si Direk Joey, actually kay Direk Joey din ang galing. Nag-post siya sa Benilde Film Group natin kung nasan tayong lahat. Tapos, naghahanap kasi pala ng isang advertising agency which is TBWA. Naghahanap siya ng mga kahit fresh grads or parang newly graduates tapos na kayang mag-create ng content on their own or para kayang mag-shoot, mag-isip ng concept, mag-shoot and edit din yung ginawa nilang concept. So, naging production manager ako under TBWA, yung in-house production namin doon, which is House Everything. Tapos from there, sobrang haba kasi ang dami ko talaga pinagdaanan. From there, yung production manager title ko, hindi talaga yun lang yung trabaho ko. Katulad nung sinabi ni Johann kanina, lahat talaga kailangan mong gawin. So aside from doing PM work, talagang nag-iisip ako ng idea for a specific brand, which is Alaska. Tapos nag-edit din ako, nag-shoot, nag-direct, minsan AD, minsan PA, kung ano yung kailangan for the specific requirement, yun yung pinapagawa sa akin. So kahit na PM yung title ko doon, hindi siya nagmamatter. Kung ano yung kailangan na gawing work, yun yung gagawin namin. And then after that, pinromote nila ako to Associate Creative Director for Content kasi nakita nila na kaya kong gumawa, parang yung expertise ko mas napupunta sa paggawa ng original content for brands. Kasi parang simula 2019 na napansin ng mga advertising agencies yung rise of digital content na sobrang umaan na siya, sobrang bumibenta na siya sa tao, sobrang dami nang gumagamit, Gen Z and millennials, sobrang gamit na gamit yung cellphone, lahat ng social media, sobrang active nila. So doon nila naisip na parang, okay, ang dami nating target audience, ang dami nating pwedeng paglagyan ng ads. So nagkaroon ng rise or ng need for parang a specific title na gumagawa lang talaga ng content ads for different brands. So doon ako napunta. And now, 6 years later, lumipat naman ako sa another advertising agency as head of content production. So pinanindigan ko na yung pagiging yung pagiging expert ko sa paggawa ng content. Tapos dito naman, it's still the same thing. I do create content, but it's original work. So ang nakakatrabaho ko na ngayon mga advertising people from Southeast Asia. So parang Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, yan, makakausap ko sila. Ayun. Tapos gumagawa kami ng content and this content has to be parang this specific content, kung wala gagawa kami ng isang content, yung shoot namin or edit namin dapat applicable siya for all the Southeast Asian countries.
Wow, so regional na ang ginagawa mo.
Yes.
Okay.
Mas mahirap kausap sila kasi hindi na sila Pinoy.
Okay.
Ayun.
So in other words, eventually from doing the brass tacks of production work, you eventually evolved into the formulation, creation, and production of content. Okay? Alam nyo guys, by the way kids, if you have any questions, you could put them in the chat and then we will throw it to them anytime. Okay? And if you want to ask the question, just raise your hand. Okay? And I will give you the floor to ask the question to any of the 3 alumni. Pero isang very prominent na na-establish natin ngayon, hindi ba? Alam nyo, itigil nyo ang pagiging mainarte ninyo. Okay? Dahil oras na gumraduate kayo, wala na yung punyetang entitlement. Okay? You must be able to get on your knees, okay, and do the work, dirty your hands, and be able to do what is demanded from you. And what is important is that as early as college, dapat na-establish nyo na yan. Hindi ba? You know what, Johann, you know what, Dayn, and lalo na yung Generation Jaig, no? Ang isang nakakamiss dahil nag-online tayo, yung pag gumagawa ng mga thesis productions, yung magkakasama-sama ang lahat at nagtutulungan, okay? Because that is so vital and important that you should learn the dynamics of work, hindi ba, inside, hindi ba, within the work inside. Okay? Like, maybe I should move on, no? O, basta kung may questions kayo, magtanong kayo. Jaig, ano ang ginagawa mo ngayon as a house director? You're doing commercials as well, right?
Yes. Medyo same as Johan. I'm just in-house with Arcade. And yeah, done a couple commercials, but hindi ako like big time like Johan yet. So I'm pretty chill pa. Pero yan, we're trying to get off our feet, and it's been medyo, you know, it's parang okay lang since bago pa lang kami ng mga directors, since Arcade just hired like 4 junior directors, and we're like trying to you know, get off our feet and trying to do a lot of commercials na rin. So it takes a while for sure kasi we have to meet a lot of like agency people, producers, tapos sobrang connections lahat eh. Like you have to talk to everyone. It's wild. Tapos they have to see all your work, and you have competition like 30, 40 other directors. It's crazy right now. So ganun yung parang it's really there. Yan yung competition talaga ngayon. Pero yeah, I mean that connects, I guess, with the question mo, Direk Joey, na what lies ahead after yung parang pandemic. What lies ahead after these Benilde students graduate? Parang yung competition becomes even more tight eh. Especially pag when it comes to like directing and being cinematographers, parang ang tight ng competition ngayon eh, especially in advertising. So yun, I guess it ties into that.
It is, well, especially I mean, Jaig, hindi ako tumagal sa advertising, di ba? For a while, nagdidirect ako ng commercial. Puro sabon yung pinapadirect sa akin, mga detergent. Hindi din, hindi ba? Yung 3:00 ng umaga, nagbibilang ka ng bula sa batya. I mean, sabi ko, hindi ito art. Hindi ito art, hindi ba? O kaya yung pagganyan ng pagpagpag noong kumot, okay, na nilaban para isampay, na you know, it's something else. Or even yung pagkagat sa hamburger, hindi mo na take 43. Sabi ko, hindi ito ang inaasam ko. It takes a certain degree of mindset to be able to survive the advertising world, and as Jaig put, to deal with agencies, hindi ba? To deal with agents, it takes but it's a career. It's one of the most stable careers that you could possibly have. Now, may bato naman ako sa iyo kay big time Direk Johann. Okay. Big time. Anong epekto nitong pandemya sa buhay natin? Anong epekto nito sa buhay mo? Kasing nayanig ka ba ng kabwisita nitong virus na ito?
Yung epekto, Direk, kung ikaw nagbibilang ng bula ng 3:00 ng umaga, ako nagpapagalaw ng talong ng 3:00 ng umaga.
Okay.
Yun po ang main job description ko, tigapagalaw ako ng mga talong at kamote. So, sige, going to the pandemic question, no. Right now, hindi ko siya i-fairy tale sa inyo for everyone, no. It's survival of the fittest outside, you know. Jaig knows this, kahit in-house ka, mas stable, mas you have a security sa si Dayn then works for an agency, like someone like me, I work as a freelance, no. So basically, kung saan may labada, dun tayo. But it's survival of the fittest right now. Again, I think given naman na parang we have to give out na, okay, you have to good at directing, production, yada, yada, yada. But I think we are missing one thing, that you should be really, really good at communicating, no? You'll be able, you have to know how to talk to people. Tanggalin natin yung introvert self natin ng college, tanggalin natin. Kasi outside, to be honest, mahirap makapenetrate to do some real work if you're not outside, if you're not putting yourself out there, you know. Especially right now, post-pandemic, technically hindi siya present pandemic. To be honest with you, we are losing clients to foreign production houses.
Why is that, anak?
Because number one, mas mura sila doon because mas maganda yung pandemic response nila. Yung restrictions nila mas maayos. Less mas mabilis yung turnover ng projects. Wala masyadong binabayarang testing and all that stuff. So I've been doing projects for this one brand for the past 3 to 4 years, and this year I haven't gotten one project from them because a Thai production house did it.
Oh
or,
my
or
God.
are still doing it, no?
Yeah.
For a much cheaper price, which is weird. Na parang, I thought Philippines is cheap. But apparently, Thailand now,
It's not.
Thai production house, especially advertising Thailand, they're like big, diba? Parang they're like sila yung sila yung mainstay talaga pa sa production house. So we would think na sila yung mahal. But apparently, mas mahal tayo kasi mas maganda yung pandemic response natin dito. So,
no, hindi talaga the Thais have really, had a niche, especially sa advertising. Not only, hindi ba pati Dayn, pati style and content, iba yung mga Thai commercials. Pag napanood mo, I guess guys, nakapanood na kayo sa YouTube ng mga Thai commercial, iba yung rehistro nila eh. At saka pagdating sa shampoo, hindi ba Thai yan? Pagbuhok ang produkto, ang mga Thais ang nagwawagi. Dayn, kayo ba na-apekto sa siguro yung itatanong ko si Dennis, hindi ba content creator ka? Kadalasan ngayon yung talagang digital na, digital content na, talagang pang short-term entertainment na, short-term information na, Paliwanag mo nga, Dayn, ano yung pagkakaibang naganap from the time you started in Tibwa all the way to what kind of work that you're doing right now?
Okay. Well, back in 2016, shit, ang tagal.
Hindi
Mas
ka pa
uso
naman
pa
matando.
before.
Sariwa ka pa naman. Go ahead. Sige.
Tagal na pala, grabe.
Oo.
Dito. Back in 2016, sobrang iba yung trend, iba yung usong klase ng content. Sobrang uso pa ng TVC. Mas yun pa yung pinapanood ng tao. Versus now, talagang kung hindi man 70% yung nakukuha ngayon ng digital content, at least 50-50 na sila ng TVC. Sobrang lumaki talaga yung demand niya. Lalo na kasi, 'di ba, parang naiinis tayo every time na merong bagong development sa mga social media. Palaging biglang may isisingit silang ad. Kunwari nanonood ka lang. Sa kalagitnaan ng pagnood mo, biglang may ads. So parang sobrang ang dami nilang na-explore na ways to cut through parang the audience experience para lang maipasok 'yun. In terms of content, and yung effect naman ng pandemic to it, ang naging problem namin ay yung nasabi na rin ni Johann kanina na parang mahirap mag-shoot. And of course, content, nakarely din kami sa pag-shoot. And that's, kasi usually naman pag content, hindi siya katulad ng TVC na parang for one whole month, okay ka na. Kasi it's a campaign eh. Okay ka na. Makagawa ka ng TVC, meron yung mas maliliit na versions na mga 20 seconders, 15
Edit
seconders,
downs,
6 seconders. Okay ka na. Yung content, yung trend sa TikTok, nagbabago siya every day. Magkamali ka lang ng maiwan ka lang. Hindi mo lang matignan yung trend for the day. Wala ka na sa uso. 'Di ba? Ang daming challenges, ang daming trend. So parang sobrang hirap kasi there's no means at least nung earlier part ng pandemic para makapag-shoot. So talagang tinuturuan namin mag-self-shoot yung mga actors and talents.
Yeah. Oo.
Sobrang lala. Kasi yun nga sabi ni Johann, sobrang importante ng communication. Kasi pag mali yung nasabi namin sa kanila, mali na yung masushoot nila. So sayang yung TF, sayang yung budget, sayang lahat ng pinadala namin, sayang resources. So ayun, yun yung naging main effect ng pandemic sa content.
Naalala ko yung sinabi mo yan. You know guys, one of my nephews is an advertising executive. No, he's now a consultant. He's a freelancer. Kinukwento sa akin ni Marcy Dayn na nung sinushoot nila yung smart ad ni Hyun Bin, yun sa Crash Landing on You. Nakakatawa. Alam mo yun Johann, alam mo Jaig. Nandito sila sa Pilipinas, pinapanood nila habang nagbibigay sila ng direction. Okay, doon sa sinushoot. Okay, sa Korea. Yung ganung baga, hindi ba? Na iba na yung dahil nga na-restrict dala nitong nitong pandemya. Saka may binanggit ka na Dayn na napaka-importante. Uy, children, remember huwag niyong mamaliitin ang TikTok okay, ang Instagram Reels, okay, ang Facebook Live, because that's the new media. Okay. Surprisingly, okay, si Madonna Tarayo, siguro naging teacher niyo si Madonna, di ba? Mr. Para-Para, naging teacher mo siguro si Madonna Tarayo, di ba? Nagma-master siya sa Amerika at ang isang course is on TikTok production. How to create content for TikTok. Kasi nandiyan na, yan ang short-term entertainment. Okay? Siguro, no, kasi puro advertising nag-uusapan natin, ha? Ako naman ang magbibigay ng insight sa inyo sa pelikula. Okay? Maging mabait kayo, okay, kay Madonna Tarayo. Bakit? The best students ni Madonna, hinahire niya sa straight shooter na production house niya. Maging mabait kayo sa mga teachers ninyo na may production houses dahil kukunin nila kayo pag magaling kayo. Okay? Yung second cameraman ko ngayon, may principal kami, nag-apprentice, okay, sa first camera ko. Baka kilala mo yon, Jaig, or baka kilala nyo Johann, si Arens Jonella. Okay? Siya ang second cameraman ko ngayon. Okay? Meron pang isa na medyo sutil na taga Benilde na umuwi sa MRP, hindi nakagraduate, pero ngayon, very efficient staffer ko na si Gab Divina. Okay? Yung isa sana iimbitahin ko, si Alex Supnet. I don't know kung kilala nyo si Alex Supnet. Kilala mo yung Jaig, hindi ba? She is one of the most successful production managers now for film and for Viva Max. Okay? So siya naghahanap ng lahat ng mga hotel rooms, okay, na kung saan nagagawa ang mga milagro ng Viva Max. Okay, mga location. Okay? So, pag magaling kayo, nakukuha kayo at na-absorb eh. Okay, kailangan masigasig kayo. Dog eat dog, okay, sa advertising. Alam nyo sa pelikula, ang daming ginagawa. Hindi pelikula, streaming. Boys and girls, wala nang gumagawa ng pelikula. Dahil ang mga sinihan, wala nang nanonood sa sinihan maliban sa Marvel. Matatagalan bago bumalik ang tao sa sinihan. Karamihan streaming. Okay? May tatanong ako sa iyo, Johann, sa field ng advertising, anong mga jobs ang pinaka-in-demand? Yung kinukulang ka na kumisan, shit, sino ito? Yung kinukulang ka.
To be honest, Direk, production designers.
Production design.
Production
Talaga?
designer. Yes. Yes.
Agreed.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Kasi, di ba, Jake, no? Very few ang magagaling production designers. I must say, guys, if you want to be cinematographers, ang daming magaling cinematographers. Madami sila.
Good luck.
If you want to be directors,
Mas marami.
pray to the Lord. Pray to the Lord. But if you want to get into production design is the way to go. You know, ang dami production designers, but kahit yung mga bagets, kasi ako I always want to work with bagets, no? Kasi yun na, same wavelength. So parang when I pick my team, no? So I make sure na merong, kunwari, senior cinematographer ko, junior yung production designer ko, or senior production designer, junior, para at least may mix, may different wavelengths na lumalaban. So every time I have a project right now, every time I get a project, I always have a hard time getting a production designer because all of my production designers, usually they work for film, they work for TV, wala namang production designer na for for ad
Exclusive.
Walang ganon. So all the best production designers, Prof. Ero Francisco, I worked with him for a couple of projects, diba? It's like one of the most renowned PDs. So ako, direct to answer your question, yun yung pinakakulang, I guess, production designers. I think, guys, it's hindi nyo siya mamalitin, hindi siya tigagawa ng props lang. No, they make the visual aspect of your whatever your material is.
Sa iyo, Dayn, sa iyong experience, ano nakulang na naghahagilap ka?
Oh my God, guys. Food stylist. Although, connected siya sa production design. Kasi guys, yung business of food, hindi siya mamamatay ever eh. Kahit anong kahit saan ka magpunta, may naghanap ng pagkain, may mag-a-advertise ng pagkain. So, may demand lagi for food stylist. Guys, konting-konti lang ang food stylist na magaling sa Pilipinas. Baka gusto nyo.
Also mataas bayad sa food stylist.
Yes, sobra.
Mas mataas pa bayad sa
Sobra.
director. Promise.
Totoo yan. Mas mataas ang bayad sa food stylist kaysa sa director. Alam nyo ba guys, yung mga, syempre kung iilawan mo yung mga kinukuhang sorbetes, na ini-scoop na sorbetes, hindi sorbetes yon. That's mashed potato. Okay? And it's the job of the food stylist to make it look like sorbetes. Hindi ba? So yan, that's an area. Alam niyo naman sa film kung ano ang kulang na kulang? Production managers. Okay? Kulang na kulang ng mga Dane Hinkels nung araw ngayon. Pag ikaw production manager na magaling, ikaw ang susukot sa dami ng trabaho. Maniwala ka. Again, isa pa rin, production designers. Kulang na kulang ang production designers. Cinematographers, 5 isang kusing yan. Okay? Kaya alam mo, pag nagtatarantado kang cinematographer, gago ka, bye. Hindi ba? Ang dali mong palitan. Pero, pag production manager kang magaling, titiisin ka dahil magaling ka. Production designer, kulang na kulang. Alam mo, lalo-lalo na nag-start ang streaming, doon naubos ang PD. Naubos ang PD. Dahil, mabuti nga magsasara na ang probinsyano. Hindi ba dati yan? Hindi ba lahat nasa ABS? Lahat ng production designers. Hindi ba? Yung production designer yata ng probinsyano nakapagpatayo ng building. Okay, sa tagal sa kinita niya sa probinsyano. So, these are the jobs that you have to take into consideration. Now, Dayn, dito ngayon sa pandemya, ano ang biggest challenge na hinarap mo? Okay, aside from the fact na talagang dog eat dog world, ano ang malaking pagkakaiba?
Well, ang dami na
Tumaas ba ang
kasing
budget? Hindi.
bumaba lalo kasi dumagdag yung budget for testing.
Oo.
Testing, contracts, legal. Tapos yung bata, guys, oh my God, dole. GG kami, bawal na. Sobrang strict ng dole. Lalo na pag yung, depende sa ano tawag doon? Sa level.
Oo.
Kapag sobrang taas na level, bawal, as in naka-lockdown, bawal ilabas talaga yung bata. Kailangan i-shoot siya sa bahay. So papadalhan lang siya ng equipment. Tapos dapat 4 hours lang, ganyan. Dati, want to sawa kapag kaya pa ng bata, sige. Ngayon, hindi na talaga pwede. Sobrang strict ng lahat. Tsaka, parang everybody, lahat ng production and even advertising agencies, sumusunod kami sa isang standard. Kapag sinabi ng CPHGG, siya yung parang nagsaset ng standard for commercial industries. Na ganito lang yung pwede niyong gawin, ganito lang yung amount of people sa set, yung dati na want to sawa, di ba? Kahit ilan kayo dyan, sige, magsiksikan kayo dyan. Ngayon, 20 na lang, 50 na lang, kasama doon lahat. Kaya kailangan, yung iba, pwede ba Zoom ka na lang kapag hindi ka kailangan, hindi ka essential sa ano. Tapos may safety officer. So isipin nyo guys, nagsushoot kayo. Tapos may safety officer. Sabi niya, social distancing po. Tapos hindi naman pwedeng magkalayo yung director tsaka yung DP. Lalo na pag inaayos pa lang yung set. Diba? So parang, paano po? Tapos lalo na nung uso pa yung
Face shield.
Face shield, my God. Hirap na hirap talaga lahat kasi hindi na kami makahinga sa set. Ang init ng ilaw. Ang init ng ilaw. May face mask, may face shield. Tapos every 2 hours nagpapayat kami ng face mask. So ang dami talaga. Tapos 10 hours lang ata per day pwede mag-shoot. Tapos kailangan nyo na iplano. Dapat nakaschedule na agad yung second day of shoot nyo. Hindi siya pwedeng idiretso. Makakasuhan kayo. Yun yung pinaka-challenge talaga. Sobrang nagbago.
Saka, sa inyo ba pumapayag pa ng lagare? Kunyari yung staff niyo ito pupunta sa iba, pumapayag pa ng lagare sa advertising? Hindi na rin.
Hindi na.
Oo, hindi
Lalo
na
na
rin.
kasi may testing din. Ayun pa yung GG guys, kapag may isang nag-positive, cancel ang shoot. Sayang ang resources at bayad. Nakakaiyak.
Jaig, what was the changes in your experience when you came back in the pandemic world?
Actually, swerte na nga ako. I didn't experience like that face shield era. when it came to shooting. So swerte na nga ako. But like, medyo may barriers pa rin and all that. Pero yeah, the face shield was gone when I started like shooting already kasi medyo nag-training muna kami sa arcade and all that. Pero yeah, yung pinaka difficulty ko dun actually nung pandemic, well, as a director I guess, is like how do you, when I did my first commercial, parang there's just always this safety officer tells you to stay where you are.
Yeah.
So parang ganun na nga. Like I want to stand up, I want to be near my DP. And like literally every single time it's like, Direk, dapat nandyan ka lang, Direk. Oh God.
Ang mas nakakatawa yung isa kong SO, yung isa kong safety officer.
Yeah.
Yung DOP ko ayaw paalis ang face shield. Paano makakasilip sa camera yun kung naka-face shield? Hindi ba? I mean,
Oo nga eh. Like,
God.
production issue. I don't know. It's not an issue per se because I, as a director, can be in front of the monitor. Pero I, as a director, personally, I like being on set. I like being next to my DP and like seeing what he's doing and seeing like the setup with the PD and everything. Parang ganun ako, oh my God, I have to stay here in my little box.
Ganun
Ganun
eh.
lang.
Ganun.
Ganun lang yung pinaka-problem ko at that time kasi creatively nawawala yung juices ko because I'm just holed up in this box. It's a big problem for me creatively. Medyo small problem lang yun compared to like all of like production managers and producers out there. They have to like figure out all of the budgeting and whatnot. So I leave it to them. Bahala kayo dyan. You guys got it. You guys got it.
You know guys, ngayon I mean naman sa kami sa pelikula, pag nag-shoot ka if you shoot out of town, naka-lock in kayo. It means bago kayo umalis, may testing kayo, tapos you're all confined to a place until tapos ang pelikula. Okay? And halfway through the shooting, susundutin uli ang ilong ninyo. And then bago kayo umuwi, susundutin uli ang ilong ninyo. Ito ang malala, itong recently na tinapos ko na miniseries, walang lock-in kasi Manila na. Bakit wala na? Dayn, ang mahal na kasing mag-lock-in sa Manila. Okay? Hindi naman kami Channel 7 na, alam niyo ba ginawa ng Channel 7 Dayn dun sa Voltes 5 ng pamangkin ko? Isang floor ng Shangri-La. No, 2 floor ng Shangri-La. Nireserva ng oh my God, pati ang staff, pati ang crew. Eh yun na nga naloka, naglaba yung crew. Okay, sa loob. Naglaba ang crew. So, at nagsampay-sampay. So, naloka mga taga Shangri-La. Okay. Pero we cannot afford that. So, uwian. So, would you believe, Mr. Para-Para, every day sinusundot ang ilong namin? Every day, tinetesting kami. Ganyan yung things that we go through. O teka, before I open the floor to the Q&A, direct big time may tanong ako, malaki ba talaga ang budget slash na naganap as a result of the pandemic?
Sige.
Anong epekto nito sa production?
Direct clarify ko lang, hindi ako big time. Hindi ko big time.
Wala, kinakarinyo lang kita.
Humble.
Humble.
Kung alam niyo yung production house ni Jaig, yung Arcade Film Factory, sila yung gumagawa ng mga RC commercials. So alam niyo na kung sino yung big time.
Okay.
Sino yung big time dito. So basically, slash direct, actually, to be honest naman, peak pandemic, tumaas yung budget kasi nag-adjust yung clients, no? Since parang we're not aware with the testing and stuff yet. But to be honest, this year bumaba na siya ulit, tipiran na ulit na. For example, if you have one shooting day to shoot a TVC, yung TVC na yun, most probably merong 5 edit downs yun na different.
Wow! Ganun?
You edit down, guys, it's technically from the main material, you cut down portion of it, and then that's another material. And with other material, that's different formats pa. So merong 9:16, merong 1:1 for all media platforms. But yung slash what Dayn told, na from 100 people before shooting, again, we are shooting a TV commercial, the most grandeur of them all, no, with all the clients, agencies, and most especially the SO behind you. Direct 10 minutes na lang tayo, medyo kulang.
Ganun niya. Oo.
I mean, from 100 to 150 people on set, you just down to 5 people. your ADs, they sila na yung nagtitimpla ng kape, yung cinematographer, siya na yung tumuturo ng acting dun sa bata para matuto siyang magano. So it's survival again. I always go back na survival of the fittest na especially hindi ko ma-imagine kung ano yung magiging struggle nyo after graduation, no? Kasi after graduation nyo, so new peeps looking for jobs, but you remember that maraming taong na-layoff sa jobs nila. So may mga tao pa rin nag-aantay ng panibagong trabaho. So how do you penetrate or how do you make yourself be known to a certain industry or as a certain agency if that's the case? So yeah, bumaba talaga ng budget, and with that, I know Jaig could relate to this. Mas tumaas yung responsibility as director.
Yeah.
Kasi the planning and everything, no? So for example, you get a project and then you're given 1 day of shooting. So from there, kailangan planned out mo on from 8, since we're given 10 hours of shooting. So from 8 o'clock to badly put 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, no? Kailangan planado mo yung end-to-end. Kasi if not, pag lumagpas ka, boom, di tapos yung project. Or unless mag-shell out ka ng 3 million to have another shooting day, diba? That's ano. So that's part of ano, or hindi naman siya kasha, you tell ahead to the agency, the clients na ito lang yung kasha for 10 hours. Let us know if we're changing the board. Kunwari kila Dayn or something na parang, oh, we can't make it in 10 hours. If you want to push with this concept, let's have another shooting day. If not, so marami na siya, mas marami. Unlike before kasi pag ano, I mean, I must admit na parang before in advertising as director, no, parang mas may leeway ka na, pare, gusto ko ng crane, gusto ko ng ganun lang yung mga arte mo.
Wala na ba yung artehang ganyan, yung crane?
Meron pa rin
direct porta jeep pwede, no?
Direct parang ilang taon na ako hindi nakakita ng crane, ganung level. So, nandun na ako sa direct, baka pwedeng C-stand na lang yan, tapos ano, shitty rig na lang natin. Guys, this is TV commercial. So we do shit, let it be known na we do shitty rigs at advertising. So, yun po direct.
Nagti 3 to 4 days shooting ba kayo, Dane at saka Johann? Meron pong 3 to 4 days?
Direct himala po. Himala po.
Kapag ano,
at most po masama pa loob ng kliyente.
Or kapag out of town, yun talaga wala silang choice kundi idiretso.
Pero ino-observe pa rin yung 12-hour work.
Yes.
Yes, observe. So right after 6 p.m. ng work na.
Oh God. So ang hirap. Guys, ang nare-realize dito, no? Shit, iba na yung mundong papasukan ninyo. Okay, it's a digital world na. Maganda yung tinanong ni Johann na question how do you get yourself noticed in a highly competitive arena when you graduate? Because ang kakompetensya ninyo, hindi lamang yung batch ninyo na gumraduate sa skwelang ito, kundi yung mga gumraduate pa sa 20 film schools sa country at yung mga nawala ng trabaho na may advantage na gaabang. The only solution there is having a good calling card to say I'm good even before you enter the even you enter the world. Kaya alam nyo, kung andito si Van Pascual at kaya mga napakamasigasing na nanalo ng sandamakmak na awards, that's your calling card eh. That's your calling card. Okay, you get recognized because you already gained recognition even in your undergraduate years. At saka highly recommended ka. Okay, at saka sabi ko nga, tulad nun, tumawag sa akin si Madonna, o sino dyan sa mga undergraduate na ito pwede kong kunin kasi may bubuksan silang bagong division yata. So kung maganda ang record ninyo, makakapasok kayo kaagad. O isa pa, never underestimate your OJT. Pag magaling kayo sa OJT ninyo, kukunin kayo ng kumpanyang yon. Kung ngayon nag-OJT kayo na palusot-palusot lang kung saan-saan lang kayo nag-OJT, kung kayo kumukuha ng mga wedding, burol, binyag, o kaya, walang mangyayari dyan. Kumuha kayo ng OJT na sa tingin ninyo can be a stepping stone, okay, to get to where you want to go. O sige, I will open the floor na to questions. Nag-accept yata ng ang arcade ng OJT. Alec, nag-accept daw yung production house ni Jaig ng OJT. Okay? All right, children, do you have questions? The floor I will open now to questions because I would rather have you ask questions than us keep on yakking here all the time. May questions kayo? Wala kayong question? Yes, Kyle Rafanan.
Hello. To Sir Jaig, I have a question. So since you moved to the States for college, did you ever have was your plan to originally come back to the Philippines, or did you also have any plans of staying in the States and getting work there?
I was really flexible about it because like I was thinking either come back or go to LA or something. But like arcade nga because arcade offered me a job. So I was like, okay, let me just go back real quick and be a director. So I hope that answers your question. And I was really not expecting anything. I was like, I just want to get better. That's just what I wanted to. That's it. That's my expectation at least. You're not expecting to like be one big guy in LA agad, you know. It's like there's like a quote I got actually. Kunin ko yan. Yung quote. It's from Andre de Shield. So slowly is the fastest way to get where you want to be. So
True.
yun yung iniisip ko while I was taking my masters. I was trying to like absorb everything and get all the culture, all the art, all the technical know-how, everything talaga. So yun yung talaga. I mean, you'll get noticed if kaya nga sabi ng mga tao dito, you'll get noticed if you're good at what you do. Definitely. And you'll get noticed if disciplined ka din na tao. Definitely as a film worker. So yun, it's not always bibo. It's not always about the bibo. It's about you being kind of brilliant. Then it works. It works definitely in your favor. So yun. I hope that answers your question.
No,
So
and you
yeah.
know what's so lovely about Jaig? He worked to be good in his craft. He did not work to be a rock star. Okay? If your dream is to be a rock star, then you'll be a rock star for 2 days. Okay? But if you are a good craftsman and artist, then you have a career. Okay, Karen? Okay? All right, Charlie Vito, go ahead.
Hello. My question's also for Sir Jaig.
Okay.
Could I just ask, what made you decide to take or to apply for a master's in film? Because I often get like mixed answers when I ask people. Like sometimes they say it's best to start working in film as soon as possible because it's better to like work at a young age. But sometimes people also tell me that it's better to take further studies. So I just wanted to get like your opinion and why you decided to take a master's. Thank you so much.
So yeah, my opinion on that is I didn't have a lot of connections because I'm literally from the province. I'm from Tacloban. I don't know a lot of people from Manila. And yeah, wala akong kilala dito for the most part. When I got to Benilde, I was an introvert all the way. I was like, no one knew me. I don't know people. So after when I graduated and I did my thesis, and it's like one of the better theses of that year, and I started getting noticed by Direk Joey and others. Yun nga, I was at a standstill for a while, for like 6 or 7 months, and I was like, okay, why not take my masters and just get better? That's what I was thinking. I just want to get better, and by getting better at what I was doing, I was able to take a leap forward. So parang it's hindi gradual siya. Hindi siya like it's not linear. Everything's just you'll go through like may downfalls talaga. Definitely sa industry na to, and you're gonna dip down hard, but once you get up, you're gonna stay there for a while, and it's gonna be nice. So yun, you just have to stay the course, definitely. And I feel like if nga nahirapan ka to find connections dito, it'd be a nice thing to take your masters also, but I would suggest you making connections right now because you already have the tools to do so. And like Joey said, you have Madonna Tarayo, you have Dayn, you have Johann, you have a lot of people to talk to, basically to connect with in the industry. These guys are working and I'm working too. So yeah, you can talk to everyone and connect with everyone, and that's how you get started, and you'll be able to get work from there and start working agad. So yeah, there's two different ways, and that's a definite way to get there also. So yeah.
Okay, there's also Tina Tubongbanwa, who is a vice president of Viva and occasionally would look for people to get in. So maganda yung may connection kayo eh. Okay, before I go into the phone-in question, let's get to those who raise their hands. Angelica, your question.
Hello po. This is for all the guests po. How did your chosen specialization influence or help you realize yung plans niyo po after graduation?
Okay. Let's ask the most confused of them all, Dayn. Okay, how did your chosen specialization eventually bring you to the path where you are right now?
Well, nakakatawa. Ang ganda ng question kasi, well, yung path ko, it just naturally occurred. Hindi ko siya pinilit, nangyari na lang siya. Kung saan ako pinunta, dun nag-go lang ako. But more importantly, kasi yung specialization ko, sobrang laki ng natulong niya sa akin kasi, well, production management is all about logic, diba? So parang putting things together, solving problems that you don't know are there, iisipin mo para sure ka na yung production gumana siya smoothly. So, kahit hindi ka naman PM, yung role mo for a specific project, 'di ba? It's still about logic. So parang ang laki ng tulong sa akin nun kasi with my background or with my specialization, kahit na nag-iisip ako ng idea about it, iniisip ko na rin, paano ko to i-shoot? Ano yung kailangan ko? Kaya ba to ng ganito lang budget? So, 'di ba? So parang even if parang kahit ito yung specialization ko tapos napunta ako sa field of the creative industry, nakatulong pa rin siya sa akin ng sobra. Especially script writing kasi nga, it's still all about conceptualization, development of ideas. So I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. No, you did. Ang sinasabi mo naman, Dayn, is that every learning is useful. Hindi ba? Ang maganda sa'yo, pinagdaanan mo lahat eh. From being PA to, pinagdaanan mo lahat. So when you got to where you became the boss of conceptualization, you know what it takes. Yun ang hindi ba nga, slow is the fastest way to get to where you are? Because you slowly climbed up the ladder, and when you got there, you knew how it was from the start, rather than when you suddenly assumed, okay, that position. Okay? Does that answer your question, Angelica? You know what? Learn, because every learning is very useful in the future. Okay, before I call on Carlos, okay, I am going to ask the phone-in question muna. This is from Harold Christian. Looking back on your student film life, ang ganda naman, ha? Do you have any struggles you have faced during film production projects? Okay. And do you have any tips on how to solve and to avoid these problems for students who will be taking the course next term? Siguro ito yung thesis o yung mga production courses. What do you think? Okay. Do you have ano yung mga struggle ninyo nung estudyante kayo? Okay, tanongin natin, Johann, anong struggles mo nung estudyante ka sa Benilde Film?
Doon ako sa fake answer, Direk.
Ano? Sabihin mo na.
Bukod sa teachers na may mga bukod sa may mga pinatanggal na teachers, no? But
oh my God! Okay, oh my God! Okay.
Direct doon ako sa fake answer. So, to be honest, I'm big on communication. So, back in Benilde Film, si Sir Alex nag-react, 'di ba Sir Alex? So back in Benilde Film, I think yung pinaka naging one of my struggles is communication, no. Kasi especially in our course na parang hindi ka lang naman lahat film courses, parang 'di ba may art foundations tayo na you get to be, I don't know if ganun pa rin ngayon, na you get to be part of a class with interior designers, with music people, na parang you have to have this kind of skill na you get into a certain level na pare-pareho kayo, you'll be able to communicate well with each other for you to be able to come up with a good product or a good material, no. So applying it to now, I think communication is really big for me. I think you might not be the most technical cinematographer, PM, director there is, but if you can communicate well, it will take you to places talaga. And like to Jaig's point kanina, it never hurts to ask for a job. If there's someone na direct, Joey, baka may opening ka dyan na tiga lagay ng chocolate mo sa mug, I'll take it if I'll be able to be on the set as, 'di ba? As Direct Joey, and to see kung anong dynamics yung meron sa set niya. That's one thing, you know. And yeah, it never hurts to ask for a job, especially right now.
Maraming wag na nating discuss yung mga teachers na wala na sa ating piling, okay? Na naging balakid sa inyong careers. Okay, sige. Luis.
Hello po, rinig po ba?
Oo, dinig na dinig ka. Oh.
So yung question ko po kasi is I guess sort of involved dun sa previous previous question.
Okay.
And uh, parang lagi po kasi nai-repeat na parang you have to learn everything ganun.
Mm-mm.
You have to have some knowledge or semblance of everything. Like I guess anyone who feels that they can answer it best itong question na to. Pero um how do you reconcile wanting to be excuse me wanting a specific place or goal in mind, aspiring to be something ganun, but also at the same time being everything everywhere all at once?
Magandang katanong yan. Kung kunyari gusto mo maging direktor, okay, bakit kailangan or papaano marireconcile niya na you have to learn everything before you get to reach your goal? Did I get it right, Luis?
Sort of po. I was thinking of the like upward growth. Like for example, gusto mo maging this kind of thing, pero then you have to do everything. So like how do you go up to that level?
Okay. All right. Who'd like to answer that? Who would like to answer that? Jaig?
Hey, like I said, I mean, it's really, really, really just absorbing a lot of things. Kasi, well, ako, at least in my experience, while I was in my master's, well, until now, absorb ako ng mga books, read everything, watch films, watch TV shows. I mean, as a director, kasi as in when I started to be like a cinematographer director, parang yung where you learn the most is by absorbing everything that you have around you, like may it be TV shows, movies, or books or art. Like I look at a lot of paintings right now. Like recently I've been turned on to like modern art. So ganon, everything everything talaga, everything you have to absorb, as if you wanna I want to say get good, basically get good in the industry. So yun, it depends talaga. And like I said, like as a director, it's all about like you wanting it talaga really hard. You gotta want it, or else someone's gonna push you push you to the side, because literally dito talaga, I mean, everyone wants it, definitely sa Pilipinas. So yun.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying, Jake, is you can't want it half-heartedly.
Yes,
But
definitely.
really want it.
You really want it. You gotta want it talaga. Wholeheartedly.
Okay, Dane, ano masasabi mo dyan? Okay, kunyari, what is your experience about having plans and then learning and then getting there?
Ako guys, kasi even though I'm a head of content production right now, hindi naman nawala sa akin na gusto ko pa rin maging screenwriter, gusto ko pa rin one day to create my own film. So, akin kasi, parang yung silver lining ko dyan, wala pa man ako doon, but everything that I experience now will take me there. So, in terms of learning everything, wag nyo masyado i-pressure yung sarili nyo na parang, shit, dapat by now, alam ko na to lahat. Kasi, as you work, as you find new things to work on, lahat naman yan maiisa-isa nyo eh. Definitely. Kasi, 'di ba, lahat naman ng production, hindi lang naman iisang part na yun yung gagawin mo. And you will have to talk and communicate with a lot of people, and they will tell you a lot of things about what they do, and you will learn about them. And hindi naman kailangan na palagi nyo siyang like hands-on gagawin nyo siya on your own. Hindi naman kailangan. You just have to understand na okay, ito, ganito pala yung ginagawa ng sound department, and ganito pala ginagawa ng VTR, or ganito pala ginagawa ng production design. And alam mo yun, even though, okay, pwede mong sabihin na mahina talaga ako dito, but at least, di ba, you still understood it kasi natutunan mo siya. So, habang natutunan mo tong mga to, magugulat ka na lang one day, okay, medyo malapit na ako dun sa gusto kong puntahan. So, mas ganun siya sa akin.
Okay, again, Dane, ang magic word is huwag niyong apurahin ang buhay ninyo. Okay, kasi pag nag-aapura kayo, if you to rush yourself, you're not going to enjoy the journey, and you're not going to learn everything that you need to absorb along the way. Hindi ba? The best part of a trip is not only reaching the destination, but the experiences you go through while you are in the process of traveling to that destination. Okay, big time? Ano masasabi mo? inimagine mo ba yan, Johann, nung gumraduate ka na one day you will be Johann Alcantara?
Actually, direct being, I think, being assertive is one thing, no? If kasi I guess I'm one of the few na parang I've always known that I wanted to be a director. There was this one peer in college na he told me na parang, oh, what do you want to be? And I answered, I want to be a director, I want to be an actor, I want to be a photographer, a graphic designer, and all. And then he told me, hindi pwede, bakit dapat isa lang? And I told him, sino nagsabi? Di ba? Sino nagsabi? And I'm not saying this na I'm all of that right now, because I'm not. I'm technically not, di ba? I mean, I learn a thing or two about different aspects, but at least I'm learning. At least I'm trying to grow. And guys, having the designation isn't the end all be all. For example, production wise, being a director, it's not it, because you have to constantly evolve. Like to Dane's point, medyo na ano ko dun sa point ni Dayn na parang nandun pa rin yung gusto mong gumawa ng film, gusto mo ano. Like for right now, in my personal experience, I want to transition to series, no, mga series, mga streaming platform and everything. So I talk to people. I have peers, Benilde alumnus as well, si Direk Chad Vidanes, who does His Hint to Her, diba? And I asked him, Direk Chad, baka pwede naman ako I always go to his office. Direk, since His Hinter is one of the biggest I know you know
Stream,
naman. One of the biggest series hits right now. Sila yung glory ng EBS right now, 'di ba? Direct, if kailangan mo ng, to be honest, like I go to their office, nakiki-brainstorm ako, kasi iba pa rin yung ropes ng TV format to advertising. Which I'm not saying iiwanan ko yung advertising dahil ang hirap pumasok sa advertising, hindi ko po iiwan to. Ito yung nagbabayad ng pang-araw-araw ko. But I mean, you constantly grow, the moment kasi you feel like you're great, you're already great, that's the moment you stop learning. That's your end. So better not do it at all if you're at that point na.
Alam mo kasi isa pa ring ano no na which Dane can attest. Sometimes kasi, okay, ito yung, gusto ko maging ganito. But sometimes life brings you there. Sometimes where you end up is not exactly what you imagined yourself to be. Hindi ba? All of a sudden you find yourself, Dane never imagined that she will be a head of content development. Hindi ba? O maaaring si Johann always wanted to be a director. But now, he wants to be something else aside from being a director. And there is, John Craig, okay, who, kasi life opens doors for you. It's a matter of knowing which doors to open. Okay? All right, Kat has a question. Yes, Kat.
Hi, this question goes to anyone who'd like to answer.
Yeah.
So I've been working in more on the TV industry, like part-time for the past year. And before that, I was parang kating-kate ako mag-go on set because I've been doing it online for a while. And so when I finally went on set, excited na ako. I was like, OMG, here I am. This is legit na. But then I've experienced, and I know that other people have as well, like sexualization in the film industry with like people that I would look up to, like for example, a director or someone in power. And I just wanted to ask, like, how as a beginning artist can we handle that? Because we're here to work on art, we're here to learn, and it's kind of contradicting to work on art when you also don't feel safe in that environment. So I'm just asking, like, what would you suggest we do? Yeah.
Dane.
Okay. Ako kasi, yung number one rule ko, if it's about work sexualization, wherever that is, kung saan man yun nangyari, umalis ka na doon. Kasi whatever experience you will take from it, hindi naman siya worth it. You will find other places that will respect you for who you are, and regardless of your gender or whatever orientation, kahit ano ka pa, irerespeto ka niya kasi you're there for work, to learn and to work and to give them service. So para sa akin, marami hahanap lang talaga. Pero kasi it's a progressive world na, and you guys, all of us, 'di ba? kailangan maging assertive na tayo in terms of that. So kapag if there are times na sinesexualize tayo, then maybe that's not the person na kailangan natin puntahan or i-follow. Maraming tao dyan na hindi kayo i-sexualize. Yun.
No, tsaka Kat, remember the power of no. Okay, the power of the word no. Because you will be treated by the way you allow the person to treat you. Regardless of stature or authority, when it comes to sexualization, everybody is equal. Okay? A director, a producer who uses your sex as a point of wielding his power is not somebody to respect. Okay, so you could always say no and you could always say fuck you. Okay? Because you are entitled to do that. Because if he sexualizes you, then he does not deserve the stature that he has. Okay? You don't have problems, he's got more problems. Okay? Is this for a TV series?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed. I don't want to name drop po, sir.
No, I'm not asking you to name names because
okay.
I've heard. Was it a director?
Yes po, Direk. Tsaka, honestly po, it's like when, there's like a hierarchy when it comes to like on set.
Yeah.
And minsan, talagang natatakot lang.
Nako, I mean, anak, get out of that fucking set. It's not a
Yes.
healthy set. Get out of it. Okay? Get out of that set. It's all I could say. If it's a set that wields a hierarchy which diminishes you as an intern, then it's not worth being there. You're not going to learn anything there except fear. All right? And that's something that we hope we learn in a healthier way. All right? All right. Mr. Para. Okay?
Good afternoon po.
Afternoon.
My question is for all our guest speakers. So, along that process of absorbing every opportunity to learn, curious lang po ako if what were your best and worst experiences or your best and worst career decisions na masasabi niyo pong you've become better professionals because of them?
Simulan natin sa iyo, John Craig.
Ano ba?
I think sorry, go Jaig.
Sige, go lang,
Okay, Jake.
go, Johan.
Johann, big time, go.
Sorry. I think best for me is when I went back to freelancing. It's one of the
And that was a big decision, di ba? That was a big decision. Okay.
And then few months after pandemic hit, di ba? Galing. Ganda ng timing ng decision na yun. But I think when I finally thought of na I've acquired connections from my clients, from agencies, from the people that I work with, I collaborated with. So parang I thought to myself, so this is the risk that I'm willing to take. So I went back to freelancing, not knowing that there will be pandemic 2 months after. But I think it did me good. I think worst siguro is I think attitude-wise. When I was younger, I'll admit, diba, we have this eager, we have this fire, ganon. Mas agit ka, alam mo yun, na parang syempre you're like what, a 22, 23-year-old director and you're being bossed around by 45-year-old production designer, 50-year-old cinematographer, and you have to firm your ground, not to the point na I'm losing the humanness in me, and it's the I'm the director attitude that's taking over me. So yeah, I think attitude-wise is the worst for me. Best decision would be going back to freelance.
Oh, ang sweet naman ni Johan. Pero totoo yan, pag bata ka, may tendency ka to assert yourself because you're young. Kailangan patunayan mo sa mga tao sa kapaligiran mo. Oh, Madam Dayn, ikaw naman. Ano yung best and worst?
Ang hirap nung tanong kasi naniniwala ako na wala akong, in terms of career decisions, wala akong worst decision for me kasi feeling ko lahat naman ng napagdaanan ko, kahit na may mga iba akong racket o trabaho na sinuka ko talaga ng, ba't ko ba yung ginawa? Ang dami ko namang natutunan eh. And I know parang, kumbaga, andito na ako sa point ng buhay ko na, meron akong, I know when to say yes or no to a project. Meron na akong ganong capability na dati, syempre, pabibo pa tayo, bata, di ba? So, kailangan nating makuha yung reputation na yun na, shit, magaling to. So, yes ka lang ng yes kahit na di mo naman talaga gusto yung ginagawa mo.
Totoo yun. Totoo yun.
Di ba? Yung
Okay.
best decision ko, well, actually medyo political to, but non-negotiable in terms of work, non-negotiable sa akin ang political. So if it's someone I don't support politically or parang yung pinaglaban nila is something I don't align with, hindi ko siya tatanggapin kahit na ang taas ng bayad na ibibigay sa akin.
Na, parang kilala ko, well, I don't know, kasi yung pamangkin ko ganyan din eh, may ni-reject na 6 digits eh, dahil hindi siya naniniwala doon sa tao.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, John Craig.
Siguro nga, I mean, the worst, hindi naman career decision, I guess, is like, it's in line with Johann's. Parang, yung pinaka-worst would be when I was just starting out as a cinematographer director. Parang the indecisiveness of everything. Because you don't know saan ka lulugar. And like, when I was starting out sa mga thesis films, I was like, the indecisiveness really got to me. Like the first 2 or 3 films, and every single time I was like, am I doing this right? Is ganun ba talaga? Then like, tatagal yung setup. So I guess that's a learning experience for everyone, I guess. Like you will overthink a lot when you get into this industry, and that's okay. That's okay to make mistakes like that. Definitely when you're just starting out. My best career decision, I guess, was taking masters. Feeling ko talaga kasi stuck ako eh. Super stuck ako. As in, wala, I guess, very depressive episode yun for me na parang 1 year of nothingness. And I didn't, at that time, medyo skittish ka because you're a fresh grad, di ba? I feel like this is what these students are gonna go through. Parang may 1 or 2 years na medyo skittish. I'm a fresh grad and I want to get into the industry agad. Okay, it's tough like that. It's gonna be tough for like maybe a year or 2, and you're gonna have to like find a way in to get work talaga really hard. So it's just stuff like that you have to keep in mind. So yung best decision for me is definitely taking masters and learning more, definitely, and it really jumpstart my career from there. So yun.
All right. Okay. Another phone-in question here from Danielle Bactong. As someone with minimal experience or no experience at all, how do you put yourself out there in the field? Where do you look for connections and how do you build your network? So, if you don't know anybody and you're a fresh grad, how do you get yourself to the field and how do you start networking? Johann, how did you start networking?
Sige, sorry, Direk. To answer the question lang, I won't be vague. Start with this Zoom meeting. Message Jaig, message Dayn, message me, Direk Joey. Ang dali magsabi na, message your idols. But to be honest, di ka naman nare-replyan agad sa email out of nowhere, di ba? So, start with your closest peers. So in my experience nga, since I've started as an actor, so parang over the years, I've met different people, directors, PAs, kuya drivers. I mean, they're all network, hindi mo siya i-base dun sa salary nila or sa TF nila. And the way I maximize it is after graduation, since yun nga, parang I've been doing acting jobs for the past years. And then after college, when we made that video designer team group, I was the only one na hindi culture shock kasi I already know how industry works. Because I've asked a lot of questions to Direk Joey, to Miss Madonna, di ba? Even though competitor production house nila Miss Madonna yon, she's very willing to answer questions from me. So once you get out of school and start putting up the name for yourself, it's more of like hindi ka naman inibago kasi you get to have those connections eh. So hindi na kita papahirapan. Sorry, what's your name? Daniel, no? So, hindi na kita papahirapan. Start with this Zoom meeting, and then if you come across with other professors, especially sila Sir Alex, sila I know si Aero is still teaching.
Yeah, Ero is teaching. She's now in Baguio. Nabagsakan siya ng lindol. Okay, so, andun
Yeah,
siya.
like Miss Anya. To be honest, guys, the the batch of educators or instructors that you guys have right now, they're really one of the best batches that this film has has prepared for the students. So wala akong hugot doon but yeah, maximize your close connections muna. Let's start with that. And then from there on, you message whoever you want to message.
Ikaw, John Craig. So, did you start your networking when you were in the US or after you got back? Or did your production company connect with you in the US? How did you connect with your production company?
So, well, basically, they were looking for interns yun sa arcade, and they were like, parang nag-job whatever lang sila. So, this is like the first time I was like, okay, ito na yun. Kasi I didn't have much to go for. Kasi medyo introverted nga ako as a person. So parang I was like, okay, ito na yung job opportunity talaga and I'm ready. Because like I really wanted to be ready when I wanted to get into the industry talaga. So parang iba yung approach ko at least na parang in my mind, I didn't want to get everything, and like learn and like, go to sets and whatnot. Iba yung approach ko at least, I guess, in that sense. I wanted to be ready lang mindset wise to get into the industry, and when I get there I'll be more prepared mentally and emotionally and all that. So yun, they were looking for interns and I was like, okay, apply ako. I sent my reel, I sent works, and they asked for like a 2-minute video na silent. I was like, oh yeah, sure. That's like, this is like master stuff. I do this every time. So I was like, I sent everything. And I was like, and in interview kami, we got top 10. Then we were whittled down from like 160 applicants to like top 10. Tapos ayun, apat lang kami na accept. So yun. So that's great. Yung whole process na yun. And yeah.
Okay, ikaw naman, Dayn. Paano, I know networking mo is on the job,
networking,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nag-start yung network ko sa Benilde pa lang eh. Kasi well, Digifilm guys, 'di ba? Well, different yung experiences natin, sorry pala. Nung time namin, so 'di ba sa mga projects namin sa Digifilm, kailangan namin maghanap ng actor or ng mga katrabaho na minsan hindi mo ka-batch. Minsan nga mas mataas na batch sa'yo or mas mababang batch sa'yo, pero kailangan mo kasi ng tulong in order to create the set. So doon nagsimula yung network ko. And from there, kasi naghahanap din ako ng mga tao as in talent, so talaga nagpo-post ako kung saan-saan. Social media group, ganyan. And then for my first job, actually nakuha ko lang yung network ko kasi na yun. Yung naging parang gateway ko to many parang career opportunities are my friends na hindi talaga related to film, pero parang may alam silang kunwari specific places or parang companies that are hiring people like me. So parang dun siya nagsimula. So talagang sometimes it's the people in here in the Zoom call, so yung mga kabatch nyo, kasi for sure may isa dyan na mag-a-apply tapos magtatanong, baka may kilala ka pang iba. So, di ba? Yun, network ko na agad yun. So, ayun, feeling ko dito kayo mag-start, tapos palaguin nyo lang ng palaguin. Kasi, hindi talaga siya about parang, yung network mo hindi siya parang wala siyang category Lahat talaga ng network mo magagamit mo siya in the future sa kahit anong paraan. So, lahat, kinoconsider ko lahat ng kakilala ko as my network. Kaya kapag naghahanap ako ng mga requirements for a certain shoot or project, sila yung tinatap ko. Ayun.
No, pero totoo ka din kasi ang pagkakaiba ng kapanahunan ninyo bago mag-online lahat is you interact with one another at hindi lamang film kids yung mga music production, yung mga maraming interaction. That's why when we get back to school, i-maximize niyo yan. Okay? Remember para nung bukas pa yung ating office, hindi ba? Ang daming interaction na nagaganap doon. You get to meet people and who you would eventually become, your squad, become part of your squad. Dayn, ano nga pangalan ng kapartner mo, Permi, nung nagpaalila ka sa bayan?
Karen.
Oo, asan na yon?
Sa events siya ngayon, concerts, pero puro foreign concerts yung pinupuntahan niya. Actually ngayon, en route siya to Germany for a concert. So
Wow.
project management for events na siya.
O hindi ba? O
So
hindi ba?
proud.
So, marami kayong natutunan na magpaalila kayo sa 18 thesis nung kapanahunan ninyo. O may mga questions pa tayo. Okay? Ano ito? Papaano ka mas i-accept kapag let's say you want to work abroad, tapos you are good, but they prioritize people who work or graduated in their country more than other countries like PH kasi di ba mababa ang tingin sa PH? Oo. Yun ang masasabi ko. Oo. Alam mo, Iha, if you want to work abroad, you really have to start from the very bottom. Okay? Pero tama ka ha. Tingin nila sa atin, syempre iba yung worst. Hindi ba? Jaig, no? Even if you studied in a school na melting pot talaga, hindi ba? There is still a priority for, meron pa rin white supremacy. Kahit anong gawin mo. Mas mahirap ang labanan when you go abroad. Okay? Mas mahirap ang labanan. How do you get accepted? Pucha, be good. Okay? Be good. Kick them by the balls. Okay? I may come from a third world with a lot of monkeys eating bananas in trees, but I can certainly fuck my way up to the top. Ganun lang yun. There is no sure formula for that, hindi ba? Yeah, okay, teka, next question. Kasi, hello po, legit po ba yung pwede namin kayo i-message like yung sinasabi ni Johann? Tamo na, Johann, leche ka. Okay? Di pa ako sure kung tama po narinig ko. Yes, you may. Okay, yes, you may.
Direct, someone messaged me and then I replied, yeah, message me. Walang 250, wala akong 250 hihingiin after.
Yes, you may. At marami nang gumagawa nun. And if there is a job opportunity, we do it. And sometimes we put postings on the Benilde Film Page. We sometimes put posting in the Benilde Film Page. For instance, right now there are a lot of new projects to be done by the FDCP, okay, of which I am somewhat connected right now. We will be needing a lot of film students or film people, okay, to go there, okay, and to help put together some of the projects. Marami, alam mo, children, isang bagay ang aaminin ng tatlo kong anak at pati ni Lolo. Ikaw ang maghahanap ng trabaho, hindi yung trabaho maghahanap sa iyo. Okay? Kailangan maging masigasig ka. Kailangan, fighter ka. O teka, let's ask. Final word na tayo. 2:02 na pala. Magagalit na si Sir Angelo kay Amanda. Okay? Final word. Jaig, anong final word mo sa fresh graduates sa mga soon-to-graduate film students? Like, why did you take up film? Okay. What's your final word?
Sasabihin ni Sir Jag, mag-shift na kayo. No. But, but for real, parang, it'll come out sa work nyo din and you as a person, kung mahal nyo yung ginagawa nyo, talaga, it will really come out. So, as early as now, find things that you love, especially in film, that you cling to and that you want to pursue and keep going at it. And if it's not for you, just like let's say kay Dayn, yung situation niya, then just go with the flow. Just go with it. Kasi nandun na Nandun ka na. If you cling into work and you get work, just go with it. That's how you do it. That's how you get to the industry for sure. And make connections, talk to people, and be a good person. Like it really, really helps to be good. Really helps to be good.
That's
true. As in, don't be a dick. I hate working with people who are dicks. Definitely. Na parang na.
No, Jaig, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, 40% of success is how you deal with people. I would rather work with a relatively okay guy who is such a nice guy than an excellent guy who's a dick. Hindi ba? All right. Sir Johann, okay? Big time. Ano masasabi mo din sa fresh graduates?
It'll be harder from this point on.
Napaka-encouraging mo naman.
Hindi. I always tell people, especially interns on my set right now, kasi hindi na nga siya ganun kadali eh. I mean, I have a shoot tomorrow and on Sunday. Hindi ko na pwedeng, sinong gusto sumama tomorrow? Tapos pwede. Kasi hindi eh. Kasi may testing na dapat gawin and everything. So for you exposure pa lang, it's hard. It's hard, no? So parang can you please find ways for you to develop skills, not just the technical wise, yung mga editing, madali nyo matututunan yan eh. It's more of like, I think collaboration, again and again, communication, collaboration, and attitude towards work and your peers, no? Kasi again, you can land a good project or two, but after that, what happens next? Will you be able to get one again? Or pag na uso po sa industriya ang LP, when you say LP is last project, no? So pag na last project ka na, goodbye ka na in life and mag-quit ka na sa Zoom. So yeah, it's not a fairy tale. It's not after graduation. Siguro isa dalawa lang dito yung magkakatrabaho. Who knows? Or maybe all of you, right? Or kami rin, baka next week wala na kaming trabaho. Who knows, di ba?
Ano naman sabihin?
To be honest, right? Di ba? But
Hindi kakapasok ko lang.
kakalipat lang pala ni Dayn na agency, sorry. But yeah, I mean, parang parting words would be accept that there are things in the world that you can't control. And then accept that there are advantages and disadvantages. This person might have connections, and then utilize it. If you're that person, utilize it. If you don't have that, work hard for you to have more connections, di ba? Kasi hindi ka pwedeng gumawa lang ng mga and be millennials na, oh shit, I can't find work, bro. Let's go to silo na lang later. You can't do that all the time. Diba? So there are advantages, disadvantages. May pros yung katabi mo, mas magaling mag-cinematographer ito. Kaibiganin mo siya. Talk to him. Collaborate kayo. May matutunan ka sa kanya, may matutunan. You say you're a user, but no, it's not. Hindi siya ganun ka-shallow. So accept that there are things that you can't control, and then just utilize whatever you have. And then from there, I think enjoy the ride. It's so cliche, but really enjoy the ride. And please take care of your mental health. Wala pong deadline yung buhay natin, ha? Wala po siyang by 30 kailangan premiadong director at kung ano-ano ka na. At the end of the day, if you're not healthy, your mind's not healthy, your body's not healthy, you'll not be able to produce any work.
Yan, ganda. Ganda naman. Ganda naman ang sinabi ng ano ko. Ganda.
May practice ko ata kagabi yung Direk, may sulat ko.
Kita ko nga, binabasa mo eh. Okay. Dayn, ano yung sabihin mo?
Ako guys, for your first job, may malaking chance na hindi niyo magugustuhan yung first job niyo. But still, take it kasi it's a learning experience. And kasi sa first job nyo, dun nyo makikilala yung like-minded people or people you want to work with in the future. Maybe not in the same company, but in other companies. Pero dun kasi kayo gagawa ng first network nyo, na actual official network nyo. So, mahalaga na sa first job nyo, although hindi kayo enthusiastic about it, but try to learn as much as you can. And kung mawala kayo sa path nyo, okay lang kasi madali namang bumalik dun eh. Just look for ways or parang look for places na feeling nyo ipupush forward kung yung destination na gusto nyong puntahan. And ang pinakamahalaga sa akin actually guys, in terms of career, although matagal nyo pa itong iisipin, mahalaga din, this is an untouched parang topic, mahalaga din yung benefits ng isang company. Kasi magkaibang mundo ang freelance world and yung pagiging contractual or parang pagiging full-time employee. Sinasabi ko siya ngayon kasi guys, depende yan sa nyo, maliban pa sa career path na binubuo nyo, depende rin yan sa priorities nyo. Kasi pwedeng yung gusto nyong priority in life, okay lang sa inyo maging freelance, tas kayo na bahala mag-asikaso ng mga stuff nyo and benefits. But meron din kasi companies, nag-offer sila, depende sa company na papasukan mo, nag-offer sila ng different benefits. And those kinds of benefits, baka importante sila sa inyo. So, before you sign a contract, pag may nahanap na kayong place, check nyo muna kung yung mga benefits na yun ba, okay sa inyo. At yung job description nyo ba, masyadong madami, kaya nyo ba? Kaya nyo bang panindigan? Or masyado ba silang maraming dinedemand sa inyo? Kasi, mahalaga na before you sign, alam nyo kung ano yung pinapasok nyo kasi mahirap talagang magtrabaho. Lalo na kapag kaka-graduate nyo lang. But guys, wala namang lahat ng first time magtrabaho, wala talaga silang alam. Although ang dami yung natutunan from the film school, yung process nila, yung culture nila sa dun sa place na pupuntahan nyo, sobrang maninibago kayo kasi for sure hindi nyo pa siya na-experience. For sure first hand siya. So, yun, medyo mahirap yun. Pero, kapag nakapag-adjust na kayo, mas madadalian na kayo, moving forward. So, ayun. Yun lang
Wow!
for me.
Okay, maraming salamat sa tatlo nating guests. Okay, and to encapsulate, let the Lolo give his 3 points of wisdom. Okay? Number 1, I keep telling this to all the graduating students or those on the cusp of graduation. Number 1, filmmaking, regardless of form, is not a job. It's a passion. It is a passion. It's not easy. Okay, it is physically draining, it is psychologically testing, but most of all, it breeds insecurities, it breeds mental health issues. But if you stick to it, because that is what you feel that you are meant to do, then that will lead to my second point. You should be able to adjust to the changes in times. Okay, and then adjusting to the changes in time means being, as mentioned by Johann, being a good human being. Okay, you may be the most talented son of a bitch around, but if you are not a good human being, chances are you're not going to have a long career. You're not going to have a long career. And then lastly, okay, nowadays it's not enough to be good. You have to be extraordinary. And everybody is extraordinary if you know exactly who you are and what you want to achieve along the way. And take it from me, who's been around this business for 2 centuries, it's hard to get to the top. It's harder to stay on top. Okay? Especially in your generation, in the digital generation, where careers are sometimes as short as the life of a mayfly, ang hirap to get to the top and to be noticed. Mas mahirap to remain on top. And you can only remain on top if you keep on evolving. Sabi nga ni Jaig, sabi pala Jaig pala, not Jag, Jaig. Okay, sabi ni Jaig, you have to keep on learning. Alam mo, Dayn, alam mo, Johann, alam mo, Jaig, umiiyak ako pag naririnig ko ang mga estudyante ng film na hindi nanonood ng film. You have to keep on absorbing. You cannot be the same filmmaker for more than 2 years. You have to keep on changing and challenging yourself to be better. So with that, I'd like to thank 3 of our most successful children. Okay, Madam Dayn. Okay, Kuya Johann, big-time director. And our professor, okay, Jaig de Guzman. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your journey with all these kids. Now, before you go, Mr. Kayamanda, you have to take pictures for purposes of documentation. Please open your camera and then
Yes,
hello,
correctly.
we will have to take the picture and show it to the chancellor that we had this talk. Okay. Uy. Kindly fill up the forms daw, then to record your attendance, okay? Para sa mga teacher ninyo. Okay, game na. Kat, don't ever go back to that set anymore, okay? Alec, tanungin mo kung ano yung OJT na yan, didimanda ko yan. Hello, kumukuha ka na ba ng picture? Hello, nangangawit na ako sa kakangiti. Kumukuha ka na ba ng picture? Uy, Elo, sumagot ka!
Ay, sorry po, naka-mute po pala. Sorry, sir. Ako po, Regdi, tapos na po.
Tapos na pala yung
Second po.
Okay.
Second page.
Okay, second page.
Second page. Open your cameras in 3, 2, 1, smile.
Okay. Diyos ko, 5 pages ito. Okay. Elo, kinukunan pa ba kami? Kasi baka naman...
Regdi, tapos na po sa inyo. Bali, second page na po tayo. Third page na po. Open your cameras.
Johann, kamusta ka? Okay ka naman, anak?
2, 1, smile.
El Pogi, okay. Okay,
Okay
ikaw,
po,
Jaig.
okay na po lahat. Maraming
Okay na.
salamat.
Okay, everybody, maraming salamat.
You.
Madam Dayn, Jaig, big time. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Love you guys. Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.